In my first year as a freelancer, I only booked 3 calls in cold DMs. And since then, I have booked thousands and thousands and thousands of calls. And I've broken it down into a really simple process so you can steal it and do the exact same thing so you can reach millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars in success. Now, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jordan Ross. I'm the founder of 8-Figure Agency. We're a 8-figure portfolio as well as a growth consultancy that helps agencies scale. Now, I'm going to dive right in because there are some really simple things that you can do. And the first thing I want to show you is what the actual process is to book calls in the cold DMs. And then also the benefit of this, I'm going to show you how to use AI and ChatGPT to help you with this. If you struggle with actually creating scripts, I'm going to show you how to delegate this too. The first thing for you to be aware of is there's only 4 steps to actually do this process well. Effective scripting, building a really good list, reaching out, pipeline, tracking, and then delegating so someone else can do this. And I find most people struggle with part 1, which is scripting. Now, for scripting with cold outreach, I find that there's generally 2 effective strategies to use. And the first one is value, and the second one is humor. Now, in my experience, I always try to lead with value first. I might do 70% or 80 or 90% of my cold outreaches to be primarily focused on value. And oftentimes is you want to lead with something that you can give them tangibly. I spoke to one of my friends who built and sold a $20 million agency. And in his new agency, he told me that what they are doing is offering some form of free value immediately. And I'll give you a few examples. I'm going to give you an example for a YouTube agency. I'm going to give you an example for a content writing agency and an ads agency. 3 examples, same concept, value. So what we have here are 3 different examples of providing some form of free value to your prospect. And you could iterate this based on how you say, but the core concept is, would you like a free blog? Would you like a free YouTube video? Would you like a free ad? Or I made you a free ad. I made you this thing. The goal of this script is to be able to say that you are giving away some form of free value. And when someone replies, you're going to have 2 options for them. And the 2 options are going to be, hey, I made this for you, but if you want, I could actually make it 10 times better if we could jump on a call. Now, at this point, you could say, here's an example from another person of what I made for them as a template or what I made for them before I got on a call with them, or when I got on a call with them, and you could actually see the difference. Do you want to jump on a call? Now, the strategy here is you want to drive your prospects to a call where you could take them through a sales process, ask a lot of questions, and then still deliver something free that's valuable. Now, in the concept of marketing, this will be chalked up to cost per acquisition. In my bookkeeping firm, we actually do a lot of free audits, and we know what our cost per audit is. And we also know for every 10 audits that we do for free, about 30, 40, or 50% of them are going to actually have issues, which will lead to them becoming a client. So I'm willing to do 10 free discoveries and 10 free audits in order to get like 4 or 5 clients because the math always works. And I'm willing to spend money up front. This is the concept here. And it makes a lot of sense, especially because people are just asking to book calls. Lead with value. Now, the thing that you might struggle with is how do I actually make a good script? And we have ChatGPT available for us. So what I like to do is come up with an idea and then ask ChatGPT to make it better. We actually have Copywriter GPT, which is a free GPT just literally in the app. So what you can do is you want to create a variance of a script, and you could use AI, ChatGPT, or Copywriter GPT, where you can come up with the idea and just ask to make it better. So you can actually see, I've just created a tailored ad that's designed to outshine your current campaigns. Where's the best place to send it so you could see a difference for yourself, right? As you can see here, you could actually take your script, send it to Copywriter GPT, and Copywriter GPT will give you a variant. Now, what I like to do is ask Copywriter GPT to give you up to 5 variants. So you could actually see it has different types of concepts that it uses: curiosity-driven, confident, friendly, exclusive, engaging. So what you want to do is create your scripts. This is step number 1. And Copywriter GPT is an amazing place where if you were like me and you're not a natural copywriter, you could have ideas. This will get you going so you feel confident. Now, what you also need to be able to do is offer humor. We split test so many different things. A lot of times our humor is based on pop culture, but you could see here we've referenced Forrest Gump and, being able to follow up with humor there. We've even split tested Adele, and, this is playing on the Hello from the Other Side song. I hated this script at first, but it actually worked. And you can see here, this is from 2023. So we have depreciated it. I thought it was gross and icky, but like people who love Adele actually resonate with this. I didn't like Adele until I went to her live concert in Vegas. So this is how you can use humor and value to actually start booking calls and also how you can start to use Copywriter GPT, which is a free extension inside of ChatGPT, to start to test different things if you don't know how to have ideas. Now, this is step one, coming up with your scripts. The second thing is you need to build a list. Now, ideally, whether you're on LinkedIn or Twitter, you want to build a list that is based on your ICP. Now, the thing that I can do with my followers is I could just DM all of them, but you might not have a lot of followers like I do. So you want to build a target list of followers from LinkedIn Sales Navigator or on Twitter. And using ChatGPT, going back to ChatGPT over here, you can actually download a list. If you're like me and you have a big following, you could actually use a software like this where it will go in and download all of your followers. And you could ask ChatGPT what are the scraping tools from Twitter that you can use to download a list and then reach out to them. Now, once you actually download a list, you need to scrape that list. So there are other AI tools that you can use. And if you're not sure how to do that, once again, go to ChatGPT to sort an entire list. Because like I said, I have 67,000 followers. Not all of them are going to be qualified. And I could either train a human to do this, or I could ask AI, where can I find a tool that can organize my followers into qualified leads? So the big thing I want to show you in this training is really how to use AI and ChatGPT, how to find tools and find resources when you might feel stuck. So you could see here, there's a few different options: Zapier, Google Sheets with filtering and conditions, data miner, right? So in this instance, I might go to use data miner, or I might go into Upwork and I might hire someone that can actually filter based on my criteria, or you can always hire an admin and give them criteria. So once you have your criteria and your list, the big thing is you want to make some form of pipeline. Now, I have used other softwares in the past, but if you're a beginner, you're probably going to be using a spreadsheet. So you want to have your list, Twitter link, right? And you can build this exclusively on LinkedIn. I have made trainings on how to use LinkedIn, so go back into my other trainings to find that. Building a real pipeline in front of you. It's not so hard to just, have a simple process where you copy and paste a bunch of followers, you have their links here, and then once you have their links, you could have you or someone go in and click into every single link and start to DM. When you actually DM them, you want to put the date here that they're DM, and you want to start to test different scripts. And the reason we're doing this is over time, what you could start to see here is you have a pipeline, you have dates where you're following up, and you have scripts. Now, when you send 100, 200, 1,000, 3,000, you're going to see which scripts do better. And you can just simply see when a call was booked, what script was used. And you could go again and ask ChatGPT, hey, I have a large sample size of data. I don't know how to process it. Can you give me some tips on how I can find out which scripts from the data is the best? So this is a simple way that if you don't have good tech, you can actually use Google Sheets to have some form of a pipeline. And then what I would say is once you send a DM, you could always send your next DM 2 days later, and then your third DM maybe even like 4 days. And it's all about testing. That's the big mindset here. The mindset is don't just send stuff, measure it, and test everything. Testing is like the number one mindset that I learned at Amazon. You usually don't have the answers, but if you have a big enough data sample size and you're willing to test, it will work. I promise you that. So up until this point, we have the scripts, we build the list, we build the pipeline, we track it, and now it's time to delegate. Now, before you actually start to delegate, the most important thing is you want to figure out how to actually succeed with this, right? You don't want to just delegate this to someone, but once you know how to succeed, all you got to do is hire Upwork, and this will be super simple. And stick around because you won't want to miss this part because it's very easy. And before I actually show you this, if you have been enjoying this video, if you've been getting value, make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video, because I will keep giving you videos every single week where I will help you grow your business and book so many more calls and make millions and millions and millions of dollars. Now, when it comes to Upwork, in my opinion, is the best place to hire already vetted talent. And the way I like to do it is just make simple job posts. Don't make it complicated. And what I said is I need someone to run my daily outreach for me on the following platforms. This person can turn to a full-time hire. What's the dollar per hour range? $4 an hour to $10 an hour. I'm looking for someone that's medium skilled, 6 months or more, and I'm looking for more than 30 hours a week. Now, once I review the proposals, I will filter. I will look for someone that's made at least $1,000 and they're 90% and up, and that will usually be sufficient. And you can see here, I actually have a pretty long list of people that meet that criteria, which is pretty surprising. Now, the thing that I always do, if they do not have at least a 100% job satisfaction rating, or if it's 98 or above, I won't even consider them. So you could see here, got some really good leads. She's 93. We won't say yes to her. 97, we won't say yes. Now, because there's a lot of people that you could see, he's made $70,000. He has a 100% rating, 100% rating, $2,000, 100% rating, $200,000. I have people that I know already follow directions, they do good work, and they can learn. So my recommendation is just hire them and then train them, train 2 or 3 people simultaneously and see who succeeds, because not everyone will. Now, here's the unique thing. Going back to ChatGPT once again, you're going to have people that reply to you, that start to message you, and you're going to need to train them. Well, how do I actually figure out how to reply to them? How do I train someone else on how to do that? And the simple thing is start to build a model on ChatGPT. So we're going back to ChatGPT for this. So what we want to do with ChatGPT is basically build an if-then. If prospect is a CEO running a media buying business, and they reply to my first script mentioning X, I replied, you want to start to aggregate your thought process and your training process, because you could actually save it into ChatGPT. And look at this logic, boom. So you're writing an if someone says this, or if this is the type of person, and they say XYZ to this part, you can build a significant series of mind map. You could do it bit by bit. So you're saying who the person is, how they reply, and at what function they reply to, and what they say. And you want to log your response and why that's your response. As you start to do this, ChatGPT can actually build a significant mind map of training where if you only log your replies for, let's call it like 1,000 replies, eventually when you build this entire logic for ChatGPT, you can then download this, send it to your team member, have them download your GPT training, so now they can use your scripts and your ideas on how you reply, and ultimately this will be the easiest way that you can delegate. That's it, guys. Doing this process will allow you to delegate, will allow you to book thousands of calls like I have, and the most important thing is that you need to be willing to do significant volume and constantly test. Now, I appreciate you watching this full video. Once again, if you enjoyed this, make sure you click subscribe and join my free school community where you can get more value and more trainings and more insights from a community of over 1,500 people at the time of this recording, and we're here to help you. Thank you so much.